Hello, this is a presentation to explain a bit these Maria Skłodowska-Curie individual fellowships and provide some advice in order to prepare them. I have a project of this kind, and though some things may have changed from 2014, I think this presentation could be quite helpful for those preparing them. I will also explain some details of my project so you can better understand what's necessary in each part. First of all, I want to provide an outline of this presentation, its structure, and for that I will follow the parts of the fellowship. Thus, I will start with the excellence part, then after that the impact part, and after that the implementation. Additionally, I will also explain other parts that have to be filled, and finally provide a quick summary of all the points stated. About these individual fellowships, I want to say that they are funded by the European Commission and that they imply mobility for postdocs, and they also have a salary and money for a project, so they are quite interesting. And about the proposal, then there are two parts. The part A, which is mainly providing some basic administrative information of your proposal, and then there is part B, which is the main core of the proposal, and that is the part assessed. I also want to remark the existence of the guide of applicants, which I highly encourage you to read and follow, because it will enable to have a general idea, and is maybe the first step before writing the proposal, and also taking into account all of these facts that I said before. I also want to remark that you should specifically search for the most convenient panel in your case. And for instance, in my proposal, this was the career restart panel, which is addressed for people that had a break in research of more of 1 year, which is also my case, because I was unemployed for more than this length of time. Here I'm going to start with the the excellence part, that is the beginning of the part of the proposal that is assessed, and where you mainly show and explain your research project. In my case, my project acronym is VOLS. You have to search for an acronym to provide a quick idea of the subject to study. And in my case, in this project, we are currently studying the role of anticoagulant rodenticides as super predators that control both prey, in this case voles, but that also control predators, because predators indirectly become intoxicated by consuming poison voles by anticoagulant rodenticides. They can be also affected by the scarcity of food resources, in this case by lower densities of voles. And for this excellence part, my main recommendation would be to be very clear with your objectives and enumerate your research tasks, so you show that you already have a clear idea of how to study your subject. In the excellence part and in the proposal in general, you also have to make clear with who and with which teams you are going to work. This is very important, and you have to think carefully about it, so you can show that the place and the groups where you are going to work are the best ones, and this is the best place to study this, and you will have the experts working with you. So it has to look like a very beautiful story. And I think it's also quite helpful that you consider also groups that have previously won some fellowships of this kind. because they will help you quite a lot. For instance, in my case, the University of Franche-Comté and the University of Aberdeen have experience on that. So in the process of writing the proposal, they have helped me quite a lot. And I think also in your projects you also need to add non-academic partners. This is also very important. Why? Because you want to boost the impact of your research by providing facts to the industry and to outside academia. In my case, I added the Dupes Hunting Federation in Franche-Comté, France, and I also added the Fredon, which is a federation of pest control. In this case, it wasn't officially included like a partner. Fredon Franche-Comté wasn't included like that, but it's mentioned several times that I was going to work with them, and that was clearly the case. And therefore, my recommendations for this part, taking into account all these points, is that you should write innovative and solid projects with leading groups and also add secondments and non-academic partners. For the excellence part, you also have to clarify how this proposal is going to boost your research career. And one possible way is by broadening your experience. In my case, for instance, I did my PhD studying ecological relationships, predator-prey relationships, and studying wildlife biology. However, with this project, I also started to work in ecotoxicological issues related to wildlife, which are maybe more applied and have a stronger impact. Then for this part, I also would recommend you to diversify your experience in relation to what you've done in the past. About the part of impact, this is where you have to demonstrate that your research is very important for the development of scientific society, and that it will be seen at different levels, at national, international. And for this part of impact, for instance, I tend to use quite a lot social media, as they are currently quite available, for instance, by internet, by mobile phones. In our project, we also have a blog where I tend to provide updates of the project. And therefore, I would recommend you to definitively create impact with the latest tools available. And I think you have to make very clear in your proposal that your project will have the most widespread impact in society. Additionally, for this part of impact, it is very important to show your research to the general public in public events, and that you are willing to do so. In this sense, it is very important to add in your proposal that you will participate in the European Researchers' Night, which is organized, for instance, in the University of Franche-Comté and in many other universities. And so in general, my recommendation is that, again, you have to create impact and you don't want to miss this opportunity to score. But the part of implementation, this part is where you need to prove that your project is perfectly feasible and that you have already thought how to combine research, how to get enough training for this and for your career as a researcher, and how will you provide the necessary impact for the project, and this for the 2 years to come. Here, for instance, I show my Gantt chart in which for the different tasks I show when I will conduct them. For instance, when I will do field work, I will go to congresses, I will provide reports, etc. So then you can adapt, always adapt when you have got your fellowship. But at least here for your proposal, you you have to show that you have an idea of how to do all this, and that you have previously thought. So it's very important, and my recommendation is that you really think about it and plan ahead. Then here in this slide, I have joined all the parts of the proposal, and for instance, you have to provide a brief CV, and then show that you are capable to be one of the top researchers of the next generation, and also that you can create connections, and you are capable to do that. Additionally, there is a part of the capacity of participating organizations, and for this part you have to show that the research groups and the non-academic partners that you will work are the best, and for doing this research, they are the perfect groups for conducting it. And I would say that it's very important to study well and provide all the details of your group. So you have to study them, and also provide the best publications obtained in the research that you will study. Then for the part of ethics issues, this part, for instance, can be a bit more complicated, because you will arrive to a new country and you may know some parts of their legislation. So for that, I think it's very important that you ask for support from your hosting groups. You always can get the information from them, because they've been working in that context for several years, and they know well how to conduct research with the species, or collecting data, etc. All these parts, I would say, they don't score for your proposal, but they are very important for the credibility of your proposal. So you have to be also strong in this part. I will also give you some general advices in this slide. First, look for tips in the internet. For instance, in YouTube, if you search Marie Curie tips, there are many videos like this, so you can get more advices from people that have won this fellowship. Then I will also encourage you to ask the experts surrounding you, and those that are available, like for instance the national contact points. They are very helpful. They are always available and happy to answer your doubts, or to provide you information. Also, think about the Marie Curie fellows that are surrounding you. That they can help you quite a lot. If you give them the proposal with time, they probably will be very happy to read it and to provide you some suggestions, and in that way your proposal will be sure much better, and you will have a much better score. So it's very important also that you think about them. Then I think you shouldn't forget about the timing and the space you have for your proposal. For the case of the space available, I will say that the assessed part, at least in 2014, it was only 10 pages. So you have to be sure and to write as much as possible in these 10 pages, so you have the highest chances to score and to have more possibility and opportunities to win the fellowship. And about the timing, I would say that you probably will need at least 1.5 months to write your Part B, and that means that before you should have a good idea of what you're going to study. So for instance, you may have to start contacting the people and the research groups. For instance, in my case, it was in March, April, and finally we provided the proposal and submitted the proposal in September. So you have to again plan ahead about the timing. And but again, follow these advices, and you will have a much better score. In summary, the individual fellowships of the Marie Curie actions are a great opportunity for research with strong implications. But for that, we need a very, very powerful proposal, a very strong proposal. And for that, you really have to write a proposal that is a nice story, that it's clear, that can be contacted, and that it has the highest chances to be very successful. But for that, here I outline all my main recommendations provided before. Be clear with your objectives and research tasks. Also, write innovative projects with the best groups, the leading groups in your subject. Additionally, consider diversifying your experience. Also, don't forget to add in your proposal non-academic partners to have a high impact outside of academia. Think very carefully about creating the highest impact for your project, and how are you going to do it. And also plan ahead how you will carry out your project. Also, don't forget to work in your credibility by providing all the information of your research groups, and that, as I said before, this project and this proposal is a nice story, and we just need to study and to start with it. And finally, please don't forget to follow the advices of the experts. They will help you a lot. So please follow these advices, and then you will have a much better score. Finally, I want to wish you good luck with your proposal, and if you need some help, don't be shy, write me. I will be very happy to help you. Many thanks also for your attention. Thanks.